I didn't ask for this.
Baby boy. Make the money stack tall right now. Make the money stack tall.
Hi, welcome back to Geeky Girls Night In. I'm Leslie, together with Quinzel. We make geeky content. So, YouTube is not my full-time job. Social media is not my full-time job. As a result, and as you've seen a couple times, I sometimes have to go out of town for my actual 9 to 5. This is one of those days. I'm in northern Indiana, and it is late, and I'm in my hotel room, and I'm done for the day. So, I decided to do some skincare and tell you a story. So let's get started. I washed my face. I just used this generic CeraVe foaming facial cleanser. It's the Walgreens version of it. So I use this. This stays in my suitcase from when I travel. And I have really dry skin, like all over my body, not just my face. I'm dry. Like even when I come on here, like 9 times out of 10, I'm ashy. I can't help it. Like I slather lotion on all day. I'm dry. I'm dry. I'm a dry human being. So, but I also get dead skin buildup. So, every once in a while I'll go in with a face polish, and this is what I use today. It smells really good. It smells like fake strawberries. So I've already done that part of my skincare. And so now is me trying to put moisture back into my face, while I talk to you. I guess I can begin with the fact that I put out a video about how I went viral on Instagram and got suspended from Facebook all in the same week. Well, shortly after I put out that video, I got a 12-hour suspension from Twitter. And it was totally not my fault. All I said was that I would like a certain someone to punch me in the face. That got me suspended from Twitter. Yeah. So for like 12 hours. And so, my 12-hour ban came and went. And then after I was able to tweet again, I posted a meme. And I will put the meme right here. So yeah, I put that meme, and I got a text from my friend Denise. Hi, Denise. And she texted me with, let's see. She sent me the meme, and she was like, "What in the insert person's name here from Upward Bound?" And I lost it because that brought back so many damn memories. So, putting moisture in my face, I'm going to go in with this 4th Ray Beauty coconut face milk. This is not enough for me. This is like the start. So, we'll go here. So, yeah, talking with Denise brought back a ton of memories from high school, from Upward Bound, and stuff like that. So I guess I should start by explaining what Upward Bound is. Upward Bound is a college preparatory program basically geared for kids who may not necessarily see the inside of a college due to like their family situation, finances. They may be like first generation that will go to college, stuff like that. And so I was a member, and basically they hold sessions during the school year where college students from the particular college your Upward Bound program is based at come to your school, and they maybe tutor you in your grades, and they watch over you and stuff like that. I think it's like, I can't remember. I want to say it's like 1 day a week. and this is my personal Upward Bound experience. I don't know if the same process happens at every single one because they're all over the country. It's a rather large program, and I don't know, is it still going? It should still be going, I would think. It's a U.S. Department of Education program. I knew that, but I didn't because it's been so long since I looked this up. It's part of the federal TRIO programs, and I'll give you their description. Upward Bound provides fundamental support to participants in their preparation for college entrance. The program provides opportunities for participants to succeed in their pre-college performance and ultimately in their higher education pursuits. Upward Bound serves high school students from low-income families and high school students from families in which neither parent holds a bachelor's degree. The goal of Upward Bound is to increase the rate at which participants complete secondary education and enroll in and graduate from institutions of post-secondary education. Now, that being said, I was an Upward Bound participant, and I had a parental that was also an Upward Bound participant. So, sometimes the program works, sometimes it doesn't. The whole point of the program, if the parental had done it right, would have been they would have gone to college, and I would not have been able to be a part of that because they would have succeeded. That did not happen for them. I was a part of Upward Bound. I have a college degree. As a result, my child, Geeky baby, probably won't be eligible. Well, she definitely won't be eligible when it's time for her to be in high school and stuff. So, basically they want to uplift you and make it so that you can go to college. And they did. I went to college. So, and the parental did also go to college. It's just that they didn't do the time frame that at that time they wanted you to do. So, you graduate from high school, you immediately go to college. They didn't do all that. So, yeah, I was an Upward Bound participant, and now, like I said, they'd come to your school, they'd do tutoring and things like that, and then once a month, you would go to the college campus that your Upward Bound was based in, and they would have activities, maybe a guest lecturer or things like that. I did things through Upward Bound that I wouldn't have gotten to do as a poor black kid from Kokomo, Indiana. That just, that wasn't happening. I got to go see the Grand Canyon. I've seen guest lecturers. The first time I stayed in a hotel was with Upward Bound. Just little things that as an adult you may take for granted, but as a kid is just a super wow thing. I don't know. Part of the experience is 6 weeks during the summer, you go and you stay on campus, on the college campus, and you take what amounts to the equivalent of the classes that you will be taking for the next year at school to kind of give you a leg up. And then the big thing was that your senior year, after you graduate, you got to take one college class for college credit. So you're starting out your college career with college credit. My experience, Denise's experience, our group's experience was a little different than most, as you will soon see. There's Upward Bound at Notre Dame. There's one at IUPUI. I believe there's one at IU Bloomington. They're all over. We were at a private Christian college. We were at Indiana Wesleyan University, the whitest institution you could possibly think of. And it was interesting. It's the whitest institution you could think of with a bunch of black kids from all over. So like, it wasn't just my school. It was, because, you know, Denise didn't go to my school. She went to school in a different town. But like, they pulled the kids from there too. And so we get on this campus and we promptly act a fool. I look back and I'm like, I know that these adults were so embarrassed by us. Like, we're the worst. So, all right. So now I'm going in with Honey Jarrett Beauty Jelly Mist. And I don't know if this does anything, but it like makes my skin feel good and it smells like tea. So and I'm running out, but I caught it on the buy one get one free sale during Black Friday, so I got more coming. Okay, so that kind of lays the groundwork for you. College campus, private Christian college campus, a bunch of black kids running around. There were white kids in the program too. There were kids of all races in the program, but it was primarily black kids with like a smattering of white kids and some Hispanic kids as well. Okay, so the RAs, the resident assistants, would try to find things to keep us entertained and out of trouble, because we frequently got into trouble. And this story that Denise brought up happened. Well, she didn't bring up the story, she just brought up the person. We will call this girl Kelly. Kelly was an interesting being in the fact that she is the first person that I've ever met that was diagnosed with ADHD. The only reason I know this was because she made a huge deal about her pills. Like, she made it known that she had to go to the office daily to get this pill. Like, if she didn't get the pill, woe be it to everyone. And I think it says something about the fact that this was like the mid to late 90s, and people weren't getting diagnosed with ADHD. And if they were, it was always a boy. Like, she was the first person I ever met with it. She was the first girl, like the only girl for the longest time that I ever knew with it, diagnosed with it. So that says something about. Anyway, so she was wild. Like, her and her brother were both part of the program. And her brother was a doll. And like, he looked out for her as best as he could, but she was wild. And so this happened one night where, like, we're all in the dorms. We're not going out or anything like that. And the RAs are trying to find something to do, because at this point, the girls are getting a little wild. Like, we're running up and down the dorms, we're making noise, and it's only a matter of time before something breaks and somebody's called and we're in trouble again. This is Beauty 360, a Target brand, hydrating cream gel, and it's for your under eye. So they decide that we're going to do a talent show. Just as girls. And like, there were boys in this program. It's just, we were in separate dorms, obviously, because, teenagers, hormones, that sort of thing. And so we all go downstairs to the common area of the dorm. And like everybody does something. Now I'm telling this story about Kelly, but let it be known that Kelly wasn't the only weird one. Like I'm weird. I know I'm weird, and it was 9 times worse as a high schooler. Completely uninhibited. I didn't understand couth. I didn't understand. I was bad. I was not bad. I was just awkward and a teenager, and just once we get to the meat potatoes of the story, you'll fully understand how bizarre it was. So we go downstairs and they start asking for volunteers, and I don't remember a whole lot of the talents. I remember one girl got up with a group of girls and they did a dance. There was another girl, Tiffany, who for some reason the RAs kept getting us confused. Like, we looked similar but not alike. Tiffany is gorgeous. She was smaller than I was, and she had sense, which I did not have. And yeah, but like one of the RAs just kept getting us confused, and somebody told him that I had bigger titties. That's how he told us apart. This kind of shit. He was fine too. Like, he was so fine. Anyway. So, Tiffany got up and she told jokes and had us rolling because they were like straight, like, dad jokes. They were awful, but they were funny. Then here comes me. And we're teenagers, and my ass gets up there and sings a Celine Dion song. Celine Dion. Okay. And it probably sounded a little something like this. Now, don't get me wrong. Falling Into You is that bitch. Great album. But what, like, 15, 16-year-old girl you know is belting out Celine Dion? Honestly. And I remember it was Call the Man. Of all the songs in the world, I swear to God. So, this is L'Oreal Collagen Moisture Filler. And in the wintertime, I need something exceedingly thick for my moisturizer. Like, it cannot be watery at all because my face is just dry. It's dry. And as a matter of fact, like, right here is so dry that it's calloused at this point. And I don't, if you have any suggestions on that, I would love to take them. So, I got up there and I sung my song. And I got half-hearted applause. I didn't deserve any applause, I'm gonna be honest with you. I love Celine Dion though. I don't even care. Y'all can fight me on that. She's the best. Anyway, then Kelly gets up. Now, in addition to having ADHD, there are a few things that you need to know about Kelly. Kelly would frequently run around screaming at the top of her lungs, asking us if we wanted to play euchre. You are on a campus with a bunch of black women. Like, you'd have a better bet of running around with a thing of cards asking us to play spades. I don't even know to this day what the hell euchre is. She also loved to sing, but was completely tone deaf. And I told a little bit of this story on Instagram, but there was a thing at Upward Bound where all the colleges in the central Indiana region came together, and we had like this big kind of Olympics type situation. And there was like a group choir, and God, what was it? Like, and I know somebody out there is like gonna shriek at this, but it was the 90s, so chill. it was a group choir, and there was one song, I Believe I Can Fly. I know. And there was a solo for it. One, I think. And with the group choir was like 150 people. And you had to try out for it. If you wanted to, to try and get the solo. And so they took a bunch of us up there for the group choir. And like, I stepped forward to try out for the solo, which I really don't know why. Because like, I was so shy, and if they would have given it to me, like, I would have just barely whispered on stage. I'm fine. I was fine in a crowd, but like out, not so much. And then Kelly stepped forward, and when she stepped forward, the person that drove us there, turned to the rest of us, and they were like, when she opens her mouth to sing, if any of you laugh, you will get kitchen duty for the rest of the summer. Kitchen duty was cleaning the dishes in the college campus cafeteria. So not just like our dishes, like anybody that was on campus that summer. You didn't want them problems. I had kitchen duty because I skipped dinner once and stayed in the computer lab in a chat room, and nobody could find me. And like, they strapped a vacuum cleaner to my back. It was a whole thing. You didn't want kitchen duty. So they were like, if you open your mouth and laugh, you'll get kitchen duty for the rest of the summer. And so all of us just kind of like turned away when she did her solo, because we didn't want them problems. Right now I'm using a jade roller. I don't know if it does anything, but it feels nice. So here we are. Anyway, she opened her mouth and it was not good. Also about Kelly was that she was on her school's dance team, which we didn't quite understand either, because she couldn't keep the beat to any song at all. But she was on it. Just so you know, my school did not have a dance team at the time. I think they do now, but they didn't when I was in school. They just had cheerleaders. Anyway, so Kelly stood up and she was like, you guys know that I'm part of my dance team at school. And when she said that, the kids that went to her school turned. I should have known that we were about to be in some shit then. They turned away from her so they wouldn't be seen laughing. And she's like, well, in addition to that, I also clog. Black girl. I looked at the RA, who was trying really hard not to laugh at that point. And I was like, clog like a drain? Like a shoe? Like, I don't understand what clogging is. And the RA goes, well, it's a type of dance. It's a type of folk dance. And I'm like, what's a folk dance? And like I said, Upward Bound opened me to a lot of different things. I listened to my first musical through Upward Bound, like Les Mis. Like I sung my first song from a musical, Les Mis. I got to see the Nutcracker for the first time because it was a religious. The program isn't religious, but the campus we were on was religious, so I got to see the Passion play, I think 3 times. And so being exposed to a lot of things, I guess. And so she's like, play my music, and I'm like, what the hell is going on? And they turn on her music, and I don't remember the song. I don't remember anything. But I remember her hitting that 1-2 hop shuffle step. She clogged down the house like hard. And we all just like, the ones who didn't know, we just kind of sat there like, and then pretty soon somebody started clapping. And so we all started clapping. And you never saw somebody so proud of themselves. And like, we cheered her on. But like, we got done. And that was pretty much the end of the talent show. There was no prizes. We were just like kind of showing off what you could do. And we go back upstairs. And I remember sitting there with my roommate. And just being like, what just occurred? What just happened? Do they do this at their dance shows? Like, you go to her school. Do they clog at her dance shows? Then we heard the bells. I'm sorry, like I said, I'm in a hotel room, and I guess they checked somebody in the room next to me, and their TV is up loud. So if you hear muffled talking, that's what you got. I started hearing bells and clunks and all sorts of noise. And so me and my roommate looked at each other, and we scrambled out of our beds, and we opened our door, and Kelly was out there clogging for her life in her legit ass clogging shoes, showing, I guess, one of the people that had asked for more details about this clogging phenomenon. And I just remember sitting there just watching this, like, I don't know what's going on. I don't know. What the hell? So, yeah, that, whew, Lord. There were so many memories from those summers. I chased after gay men. Like, loved me some gay men. And then, like, when my senior year hit, because you stayed on campus for, you know, your years, and then your senior year into freshman year of college, you stayed on campus, but you no longer, they gave you a stipend. It was a very small amount of money, but it was enough to keep a teenager happy. And that stipend stopped once you graduated high school. You got your college credit class, but you needed to figure something else out. They were providing you free room and board. Well, free room. I don't think we got fed anymore. And so you got to stay on campus, you got to take a college course, but you had to figure something out. And like, I ended up working at rallies where I met a gentleman whom everybody told me was gay, but I did not believe them. We went out on a date, we made out, and then he told me he was gay. Just like life experiences. It was some of the best times of my life. If you would have asked me back then, I would have told you that you were out of your damn mind if you would have said that to me. But, you know, like, I've made some long-lasting friends. Denise, for example. Let's see. Lauren. I talk to Tiffany periodically. Jennifer, Lorende, Manetta. I haven't talked to any of the boys in years. I used to talk to Kelly's brother, but we lost touch. Who else? Brian. I know Brian's on my Instagram, and I believe he's on my Facebook too. So yeah, like, it's been years, and like, I can still tell you what some of these people are up to, what they're doing with their lives, things like that. There were two leaders of Upward Bound. The very first year, it was two men, Mr. Hughes, and I cannot remember the other man, but he left, and then Mrs. Green took over, and like, she's the sweetest woman, and her family was hilarious, and her husband ended up teaching one of our business classes, and and then years later, like 10-15 years later, I think he ended up being a preacher at the church that my family attends. I do not attend. I do not live in that area, nor would I attend if I did. But yeah, just like small circles made big. One of the, she wasn't an RA. I think she taught something. She ended up teaching actually at my high school for a while. Either she was a student teacher or an assistant, I can't remember. But yeah, all these people were like interwoven in my life, and it's amazing to see, and it's funny to think about. It was a good time. And just that story about Kelly and the clogging, she clogged her ass off. Could not tell her nothing. Anyway, but yeah, that is about it. And that was my skincare routine. If you have any questions about what I used, let me know. If you know anything that will like soften, moisturize this area better than this, because this takes care of my face. Like, my face is nice and soft and smooth and happy, but like, there is nothing that's touching like this area right here, and I don't know what to do. If you guys are interested in more story times, because I've lived, I'm not even trying to trip. I've lived. I'm trying to put a lip mask on. Things in my life. I've had fun, and I've had hurt feelings. I've had a lot of hurt feelings. Very sensitive being, and I can't look back on it without. I look back on it without regret, because quite frankly, the alternatives are living the life that, like, there are some people in my life that really haven't lived hardly any life. They haven't done anything, and they don't have any experiences or any funny stories or any weirdness to share. And like, what's the point in that? Like, that's part of being a teenager. Just weird stories about gay men stop in the car and drive, and we can't figure out why the car won't start back up anymore. And instead of figuring out how to start the car, you just make out in the back seat, and then come home and find out he's gay. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe if this is your thing, and I will see you next time. Bye.
Y'all be fishy like trout, fever green like I'm grouch. Oscar now, maybe soon. Pray my homie.